My role began with a very ambitious CAO at the City of Waterloo by the name of Don Ruffley. But Don had aspirations for the city to start to move forward and began a lot of work in public sculpture, public art, and of course the competition for this building. So I became involved with Don in the early days in advancing the design competition, and then was subsequently asked when it was awarded and under construction to provide some oversight, since I am an architect, with the building committee and the team at the city to make sure that we were successful here. If you look at Kitchener-Waterloo in particular, and these sort of roots that come from sort of a Germanic kind of background, the buildings were pretty humble. Don had some larger urban experiences that, he saw the potential of the University of Waterloo and what was happening there by way of their own reputation, and the aspirations he held for the city were much greater. I think it began to set a more national, if not international, standard of design, and began, I think, through its very being, to educate people that there was a world beyond what we presently knew in the area. And I think it very much helps define a Canadian vernacular. I mean, the way in which this building really departed from what museums were defined as in those days, and I think the Packows would say that this departure from the white cube, a kind of introverted sort of museum space that kind of alienated the art. What you're seeing here is the building penetrated with natural light. Its basis is the materiality of the things it exhibits, in terms of the concrete and the concrete block that supports the building, the wood and metal, steel. So very much, those concepts drawn from the clay, glass, and enamel arts, clad in brick, and all those gestures. And I think that at the time, the defining qualities of the architecture here was the current thought in the Canadian context, and kind of a redefinition and an exploration of form that was not quite as utilitarian as we would have been used to coming, in the post-war era. I mean, most things that are successful do, tend to have a challenge that surrounds them in terms of public acceptance. What you're seeing, by virtue of it having been a competition, is in fact a piece of art itself.